Prioritizing tasks is essential for anyone who's looking to achieve their goals efficiently and effectively. But it's not just about doing more, it's about doing the right thing at the right time. And so in this episode, we're going to be talking about how do we prioritize? What are some things that we can use to set ourselves up for success? Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode, and welcome to day number 32 of my 100-day walk to consistency. I want to remind you, as we're on this journey, we're building a better, more resilient, more confident person. We're building a better version of ourselves. Glad that you're here joining me. Also remember that consistency is your key. It is your superpower that sets you up for success. So make sure that you are taking the time to be consistent. We'll see you on the walk. Hey, let's do it right now. So we're talking about prioritization, right? So many of us have to-do lists, and the to-do lists are packed with a lot of stuff that have to get done. At least so that's what the to-do list says. But the thing is, with the problem with to-do lists is that often it is packed with stuff that takes our energies and uses our energies for low value things when we're not getting all the we're not getting the benefit, right? So we're spending time spinning our wheels, and we having activity, we have stuff that we're doing, but as we are moving in the direction, we're not being successful because we're wasting our energy doing things that don't necessarily set us up for success. And so prioritization is that ability or the function of taking all of those tasks and putting them in an order where we're spending our time doing the things and putting our energies into the space for the things that are going to give us the biggest bang for our buck. I think that's the phrase I want to use when we talk about prioritization, right? So biggest bang for our buck, so that we are putting energy into the highest yield activities that we can do that puts us in a space to be successful. And that's the key for prioritization. So that's why task prioritization is important. That's why it matters, because we want to not work harder, we want to work smarter, okay? So the power of high impact tasks. What is the power of an high impact task? A high impact task allows us to say we've created those SMART goals and we're moving in a direction, and there's something that we can do that takes us 3, 4, 5 milestones ahead versus something we can do that only takes us 1 milestone. So we want to spend our time on that high impact task, the thing that's going to give us more momentum, take us further in our further on our journey, and that gives us, right, we get those kudos, we get the dopamine rush, we get the momentum, we get the effect on all the other things that are going on in our space because we have devoted our time and energies to the space where it really matters, okay? So high impact tasks are those that bring you the biggest bang for your buck. By prioritizing these first, it allows us to move faster, more efficiently, move further, and it allows us to not waste our energy. So if you're working on improving your health, right, high impact task might be preparing a nutritious meal at the beginning of the week. And so now that sets you up for success because you have done something that allows you, well, you put in time once, and it allows you now to use that meal for several times during the week, as opposed to having to do that multiple times as we get throughout the week. So that's the benefit of prioritization. That's why prioritization matters. Okay? So how does prioritization enhance consistency? How does it enhance consistency? Well, one, prioritization helps us to reduce our overwhelm, right? Because we are clear. When there's clarity, when we know what it is that we're doing, right? We are clear on what has to happen for us to be successful. And so we're putting the time in to the space where it matters. So we're not spending time going down and doing other things that bring us not as much success. So if we're clear that, okay, this is the order that we're going to be doing things in, these are the next 5 steps, these are the next 5 tasks, these are the next whatever, then that gives us clarity. So when we're clear, we have better chance of being successful, right? So clarity helps us to make confident decisions. It helps us to be determined. It helps us to put energy and focus into what we're doing. And it increases our efficiency. So when we are prioritized, when we know what order we're going in, then there's no big break as we are trying to, we don't have to decide what to do next because we've got the list. Right, we prioritize them and we don't have to now pause to make decisions about, okay, what should I do next? What resources should I get? I already know what the list is. I know what I have to do in terms of getting resources, bringing resources to bear, because that's already been done. And so it makes us more efficient in our process. When you prioritize, for instance, creating a meal plan for the week, then for the rest of the week, the meal plan is already made. And so now when I go shopping, I'm thinking about the meal plan. When I am doing other activities, I don't have to be now thinking about the meal plan. I can put my energies into those activities as opposed to spreading my talent, spreading my resources, spreading my energies into doing this. And then, oh, that's, by the way, I've got to do these other things for my meal plan that's already done. Right, so my efficient use of my time and of my energies. And it ensures progress towards the goal. So if we know that these tasks, these high impact tasks, are going to take us 20% further, 15% further, 30% further, as opposed to doing multiple tasks that now only take us 10%. Right, so all those tasks all together, when we do those, it only takes us 5%, as opposed to this task that I do one of them and it takes me 20% down the road. Okay, so it helps me to ensure that I'm moving in that direction, and that sets us up for success because momentum is huge, and of course it spills over into everything else that we do. Yes. All right. I think I'm gonna head back this way. See, there are folks in here. I don't want them to get into the video. All right. So how do we prioritize tasks for the biggest impact? And I want you to know that this is actually one of my favorites. And I think I say that for all the topics, right? But this is one of my favorite topics, this idea of prioritization, because there are so many tools that are out there, so many resources, so many ideas that you can use. And I've picked a few of my favorites, okay? A few of my favorites. And the first one is the Eisenhower matrix. The Eisenhower matrix. And you've probably seen this before. And basically what you do is you get a piece of paper, you can do this in your journal, and you divide the paper into 4, right? So one line down the center, vertically, one line along the center, horizontally, and then you label each of those boxes, and here are the labels that you're going to use. And people use different labels, but these are the ones I like. Urgent and important. Urgent and important. Then important but not urgent, then urgent but not important, and finally not urgent and not important. All right, so once again, so urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and then not urgent and not important. And so what we're doing is we are going to take our tasks, for instance, that to-do list, and we're going to break it up by these categories. So we're going to look at the task and we're going to decide, hey, is this something that's urgent and important? Is it something that's important but not urgent? Is it something that's urgent but not important? And is it not important and not urgent? And so here's the definition for each of those, right? So number one, so urgent and important. These are tasks that need immediate attention and are essential for your goals. So these are big boys. This is where we get our bang for the buck. These are those high priority tasks. So these are things that take me in the direction I want to go. These are the things that have to be done. These are things that got to be done. They're important and they're urgent. The next category of things that we're gonna put things into are things that are important but not urgent. So these are high impact tasks that contribute to the long-term success, right? But don't require immediate attention. So they've got to be done, but they don't have to be done right now. Okay? So that's the next group. And so you're gonna look at your list, and you're going to determine, hey, is this something that has to be done that takes me in the direction I want to go, but I don't have to do it today. I don't have to do it right now. Okay? The next group of the things you're going to look on your list, tasks that need your attention, right? But they don't have a significant impact on where I'm heading. So they need my attention, but yeah, they're not gonna take me far in the direction I'm going. Okay? Now this one is gonna be a difficult one, right? Because we're gonna be tempted to put these things in one of the previous boxes that we talked about. Right? Remember, they need your attention, but they don't take you along your direction. It doesn't take you in the direction you want to go, and it doesn't do it takes you there, but it's not a big bang for my buck. Okay? Now, if I got them done, yes, I'd be moving in that direction. But if it's a choice between this and something else that takes me farther, then I'm going to choose that other thing. Okay? And then the final group are those things, the low value tasks that are not often, that need to be done, and they're actually distractions. Okay? So, responding to that email, yes, it's something that should be done. Do you have to do it? Maybe not. Does it have to be done right now? Most likely not. Okay? But they're usually just distractions that take us away from the success that we can have if we are setting this up, right? So this is the Eisenhower matrix, and huge, very important one that I think if you use it will set yourself up for huge success. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn around because I see some more folks down that way, and once again, I don't want to get them into the video. All right. So the next, these are priority or tools for prioritization. All right, these are the tools that we're using. The next one is the 80-20 rule, and I've alluded to the 80-20 rule in a different way before. But the idea behind the 80-20 rule is that of the things that are on your list, 20% of those things will give you 80% of your benefit. This is used in organizations. It's used in businesses, in stores. Here's the idea. Say you have a store and you sell, I don't know, say you sell 50 things. Let's make it 100, make the math easy. You sell 100 things. And the 80-20 rule says that of all the things that are in your store that you sell, your 80% of your profits, 80% of your income, 80% of the money that you get comes from only selling 20% of that stuff, right? These are the big items that people buy all the time, right? So you may have 100 things on the store. Now the other things they may sell, right? People buy them, but they don't buy them that often. And so most of your money, most of your income comes from that 20%. And so just like that, on our to-do list, there are 100 things that we could do, 100 things that we need to do, 100 things that, right, are in this task. And what we realize, if we are paying attention, is that 80% of the benefit, 80% of the success, 80% of the progress that we make in the direction that we want to go come from only 20% of the things on our list. And so if we can identify those 20 things, that 20%, then we're spending our energies, we're putting our resources to bear on the things that give us the biggest bang for our buck, right? So notice, I'm not saying that we don't get benefit from those other things. We do. For instance, in the store, yeah, you sell some things and you get some money, but compared to the other things that are on the shelf, the other things that are in your inventory, you get more from selling these than you do from all the other things, right? So the 80-20 rule, right? So you want to identify, in this method, you want to, on that to-do list, what are the 20% of things that if you do them, will take you 80% of the way, will get you 80% of your benefit, will take you 80% along your tasks, 80% in the direction of your goal, right? So we want to identify that. That's that 80-20 rule. So by identifying and focusing, laser focus, when we talked about being laser focused, by identifying and focusing on those, then we set ourselves up for the biggest, largest possibility of success. And then another method is the top three method. The top three method. The top three method says that each day, you're going to look at your to-do list because you've prioritized them, and you'll pick the top three things that you're going to do today that will be the most impactful on your goals, right? We've already talked about making them specific and measurable and achievable and relevant and time-bound. So we're not even going to go through that, but you've already done that. And on the list of the things that are there, you're going to pick the top three that will give you the biggest impact. And these are the three things you're going to do. Now, if you get beyond three, by all means, have at it. But all of your resources, all of your energies are going to be put to doing those three things. So if your goal is to build a successful business, the top three things, right, might be following up with clients, or creating content for your marketing strategy, or improving your product offerings, right? So those are the top three that you would do, right? So top three, because this gives us the biggest bang for our buck. Another method is time blocking. Now I love time blocking because time blocking says that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my day and I'm going to divide it into blocks, from 8 in the morning to 9, from 10 to 11:15 or 11:30, right? And so I'm blocking that time. And during that time, I'm going to do the thing that was designed to be there, right? So I'm going to allocate specific time in my schedule for specific things, high priority tasks. This allows me and ensures that I have dedicated time for those things. Now, there are other things on my list, other things in my, and you guys see me moving because as I'm walking, I'm running into folks. So there are other things that I probably will do that day, but what I've done is I've blocked out specific time for specific tasks that I am going to say, okay, this time is dedicated to this activity, because this activity, if I do it, takes me in the direction of success. All right. So time blocking. Time blocking helps you to manage your day effectively because it allocates time to the most important. It makes sure that you put the time in for that task. Otherwise, that time is going to be gobbled up with other things, right? Because you're going to find some distraction. Those are those non-urgent, not important things that are going to come up that you're going to get into. And before you know it, you spent half an hour on those and you didn't put any time in to
time 27 minutes 19 seconds. Total distance 1.0 miles. Average pace 27 minutes 18 seconds per mile. Split pace 27 minutes 18 seconds per mile.
You heard my app reading out there, okay? Yeah, so you find that you spent all this time on the other things, right? So non-urgent, not important, and you didn't really allocate time. You didn't do anything for the most important things that take you in the direction of success, right? So time blocking. And then review and adjust. And this one sounds simple, but it is powerful because all the things that we do require that we evaluate, right? So everything that we do, when we do our challenges, one of the things that I make sure I say is you want to look at it and okay, how successful has it been? How do you feel? What do you think about how it has affected you? What do you think about how it has helped you? So reviewing and adjusting. So look at the things that you have on your to-do list. And you're looking at them with the intention of saying, okay, now that I've accomplished a task, now that I've accomplished that task, what do I need to do now? What is the next thing that I should be working on? What is the next most important thing? And that may change, right? So today I may do something, and in the process of achieving a task, I realize, hey, this other one that I have next in the list is probably not the one that I should be doing. So now I have to adjust that to accommodate the change that I've seen that's required to put me in the direction of being successful. All right, so remember, we are flexible, we're not rigid, we're resilient, we bend, but we don't break. And that takes us being flexible, us adjusting, reviewing, and prioritizing the things now based on this new evaluation that we've come up with. So review, and evaluate. Prioritization is so important. It isn't a one-time activity. Oh, you hear that? So it's not a one-time activity. So just because you came up with your SMART goals, and just because you prioritized it, just because you looked at the Eisenhower matrix and you say, okay, you broke everything up into those 4 boxes. Well, you do something from the urgent and important box and you realize, hey, wait a minute, I put something down in one of these other boxes that need to be in this box. Just because it's not there doesn't mean I can't go get it and move it and put it in this space. Because if I don't do that, I throw my progress off. I throw off what I need to do in order to be successful. And I've got to be able to adjust and review and change and be flexible if I'm going to be successful. At the end of the day, the goal, and I was waiting for this car to come, but at the end of the day, the goal is that we achieve our priorities with efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency and effectiveness. That means that we are having motion. Remember, motion has direction. So motion is activity in a particular direction, which is different from movement. So movement is just, can be random. Movement can be random, but motion is activity in a particular direction. And so in our quest to be successful, we want motion. We want to move in the direction of being successful. Now, it may take detours, it may take, bending, may take changing, but if we are, wow, it's taking this car a long time to come by. But if we are consistent, then that sets us up for more and more and more success. All right. So that is prioritization. And I mean, there's so much more that we can talk about in this space. But you get the idea. It is setting yourself up for the maximum possibility of being successful. But you know how we do, right? So we can't end, we can't stop, we can't leave without you getting your challenge. So are you ready for the challenge for today? Here it is. Remember, you're getting your journal and you are writing. Here we go. Okay, here's the journal. So today we're prioritizing tasks for maximum impact. Okay, so that's what we're working on today. Today is the challenge for that. So number one, I want you to create a to-do list. Create a to-do list. And there are lots of different ways that people use on creating to-do lists, right? Find your best method, find your way, and create a to-do list. Write down all the tasks that you want to accomplish today. We're talking about today. And then I want you to sort them using the Eisenhower matrix. Remember, we're looking at urgent and important. We're looking at important but not urgent. We're looking at urgent but not important. And then we're looking at not important and not urgent. So you're breaking your list up into that using the Eisenhower matrix. And then I want you to identify the top 3 in the urgent and important category. Okay, so we're doing this all in our journal. And then after that, I want you to block out time to do these tasks. And that's what we're doing. We're combining the things we just learned. All right, so you are taking your to-do list, you're creating that, and then you're taking the to-do list and you are breaking it up according to the Eisenhower matrix. Then you're picking the top 3 in the urgent and important category. And then you're blocking out time to say, okay, these are the things that I need to do. These are my top 3. These are the ones that are take me in the direction of success. And then you want to activate. You want to take some action on those things. Remember, things that are written that don't have action are just written. All right? So you are going to take action and you are going to you're going to go through that list and you're going to attack each one. Once you're done, then you are going to review at the end of the day your progress, and you're going to adjust for tomorrow. Review for today, and then you're going to adjust for tomorrow. Because now that allows us to be flexible, allows us to change if we need to, and allows us to continue to work to be successful and to be in the space where we need to be to achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves. Yeah. So prioritization is one of those so important tasks. It's fundamental to all the things that we do. All right, so we want to make sure that we do a good job of working on this and setting ourselves up for success. Hey, I love this discussion. Remember, prioritization is an essential tool for being successful. It's a powerful tool that helps us to stay consistent because we are spending our time doing the things that bring us the biggest bang for our buck, that takes us in the direction of success and being the person we want to be and having the achievements that we want and to achieving those SMART goals. Hey, I'm so glad that you joined me for day number 32 of my 100-day walk to consistency. This is Dr. Dwain Woode again. I want to remind you, make sure that you are doing the challenges. Make sure you're jumping in there and you are rolling up your sleeves and you're planting each foot in the space of doing the challenges. Also, make sure that you're doing the workbook, right? Those worksheets that come along with each of these lessons. You want to make sure that you're doing that because when you're done, you would have created a manual for success. You can extrapolate it, you can use it in lots of different places, but make sure that you're putting the time in to do all of what you need to do to be successful. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. So glad that you're here with me. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health in your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. Right, we're working 100-day walk to consistency. I'll see you tomorrow.